On this day 24 years ago, we were glued to our TVs watching as the two tallest buildings in New York City came crashing to the ground. The terrorist attack on 9/11 changed the world forever. Almost 3,000 people were killed. Miraculously, there were people who were in the Twin Towers that day who survived. And former Secret Service agent Darin is one of them. He is now recounting the story in his new book, Bury Me in a Dirty Suit. And Darin is here now to share his story. Thanks so much for joining us today, Darin.
My pleasure, Jeanette. Thank you.
Okay, I can't even imagine what this day must mean to you. Most of us, I mean, it's that flashbulb memory. We all remember where we were and what exactly we were doing when that happened or when we found out about it. But why were you at the towers that morning?
Well, I was a young Secret Service agent, and our office was in 7 World Trade Center, the New York field office, and that was directly across the street from the North Tower, Tower 1. So after impact, we were told to evacuate, and once we saw the scene on the ground, a large group of us, we decided to act and move into kind of a first responder role.
Okay, so then at that point you went actually into, was it Tower 1, right, that was hit first?
We did. We were doing first aid to random victims on the street when the second plane came in and hit the South Tower. It was right over my head. I felt the heat on the back of my neck, and everyone just scattered, of course. And at that time, myself and 2 other agents decided we were going to go into the North Tower, into Tower 1, and start to look for people to help. Just not with a big plan in mind, just what I call doing the next thing. Just choosing to enter in. Courage is a choice. Choosing to enter in and bring some light into darkness. And we entered into the North Tower. We encountered a couple of people that we helped get down and evacuate that could not evacuate themselves, making it up to about the 30th floor or so in the North Tower.
The 30th floor, oh my gosh. I know the towers were hit quite a bit higher than that, but I can't even imagine. I mean, how can you even plan for something like that? It was beyond anyone's wildest imagination.
You can't. I mean, training and instinct plays a part, but so does the human heart and a heart of compassion and choosing to enter in. And on that 30th floor, I would like to mention I encountered a large group of New York City firefighters. And as I was going back down, they had been in a fight. You could tell they were refitting and regrouping. As I was going back down, I heard their fire commander say, "Get your gear together, boys. We're going back up." I just want to honor them. I mean, those people knew the consequences. They knew the facts on the ground, and they went up anyways. And I will always, one of the reasons I share this story is to honor the 422 first responder personnel who died that day.
Amazing, amazing. Darin, backing up a little bit, back when you were still in, I guess, World Trade Center 7, Building 7, when did you know something was wrong? Did you guys hear something? I mean, I would imagine all the alarms went off.
I was in the locker room, just finished working out in our gym. I was putting on a clean suit. I felt a rumble, a shake, didn't know what it was, but we were within moments told to evacuate. And when I walked out of our lobby onto the street, we were directly north, right across the street from the North Tower. The first plane came in and hit from the north side, so I had a good view of where it hit. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know the totality of the circumstances, but I knew that was not an accident. I knew that was an act of war.
Yeah, I think so. That was at that point, there was so much confusion going on in the world. People thought, like, was that an accident? What happened there? Was it a bomb? Until I think everyone saw the second plane hit. So, I mean, what is going through your mind as you say that you're in, WTC-1, you're seeing the firefighters go up as you're coming down. Were you in the building as it was starting to collapse, or were you like what ran through your mind as you're running to escape this collapse?
I had just left the lobby, and I was near the mid block of Church and Vesey Street, about 80 to 100 yards from the base of the South Tower, Tower 2, when I heard a strange metal on metal screeching sound. And just as I looked up, I saw the top of Tower 2 buckle and begin to come down. And my first thought was, I'm dead. Lights out, game over. My second thought was run. And I'm running. I begin my mad dash for life. And as I ran, this is all seconds, just each floor pancaking on top of the next was like a thunderclap. And each one was getting louder and closer. And then within seconds, just overwhelmed by falling debris and by that dark cloud of pulverized concrete and other materials. That bright blue day for me became a instant pitch black dark night.
I think that's something we all remember too, is just how blue the sky was. Again, it was just such a contrast. It was crazy. And Darin, in the days that followed, you were one of those who jumped in to help. Why?
It's just kind of who I am, but the kind of person I guess that the Secret Service attracts is a heart of service, and that's the first responder community, the guardians I call them, the warriors of the military who go downrange and made sure for years that would never happen to our country again. But you know, that's just what we do. That was not our mission set. That was not what we were called to do or signed up to do, but we were called and signed up to serve, and that's what we did.
In your book that you've written, you talk about where God was on 9/11. So what did you see that day and in the days afterward, like after the attack, that made your faith stronger instead of weaker? Because it could have gone that way too.
Sure. Well, for me, when the first tower collapsed, I thought I looked at a fire truck and I was going to slide under that fire truck for cover, for safety. And I took a step in that direction and I kept going. And then within a few, yards more, I saw a pickup truck. I thought about sliding under that pickup truck for cover. And again, I just decided, I didn't know it at the time, but the Spirit was moving me and guiding my steps. And because after the two collapse, I returned to that scene. We just kept going back. I returned to that scene and I'm standing there and I saw the fire truck. And it was, Jeanette, it was completely obliterated. It was covered with steel beams. The wheels were bent out. Anyone or anything under that truck was destroyed. And then I couldn't even find that pickup truck because there was so much destruction. And I just felt, for me as a man of faith, I felt God's presence. I felt that soft voice and the firm grip on my shoulder. And He said, "I am with you, and I will always be with you." And I take that with me every day. Every day since then, I keep focusing on that promise because I know that promise is true.
Yeah. Oh, I got goosebumps when you were just describing that. So, Darin, in your book, what is the message of your book? What are you hoping readers will take from it?
Well, it's partly my memoir of that day and the days that followed, as well as September 14th when President Bush came down to the Ground Zero site. It's a down and dirty, firsthand account of what it was like to be on the street and the towers, blow by blow, moment by moment. But more importantly, the greater message of the book is, what do we do now? What do we do with our spared lives now? I want to remember the fallen. We say never, never forget, and I believe in that. But I also want to honor the fallen, honor the 3,000 that lost their lives, honor the 422, and I choose to do that by living a life of purpose. And so the whole book is about how to discern the purpose, the reason for which we are created. We're created as individuals uniquely for a mission. What is that mission? And then I want to inspire and equip people to spend the rest of their days getting after it and getting after the purpose for why they're here on this earth.
The title of your book, "Bury Me in a Dirty Suit," where does that come from?
At the end of the day, we did a lot of crazy things. At the end of the day, me and the three agents I were with, we were beaten and bloodied and tattered in our suits. We were all wearing suits, right? We're just destroyed. And we finally rendezvoused with a lot of other colleagues. And we enter this long room, and this huge group of colleagues of mine, and they looked just like we did. And then there was another group on the other side of people that were in clean suits. And it struck me. I don't know. I don't say that disparagingly at all. I just simply use that as an illustration. The next day, I couldn't get the image, the dichotomy out of my mind. There were clean suits and there were dirty suits. And so on September 12th, I'm on my couch in Hoboken, New Jersey, and I'm praying and I'm talking with my wife. And I made a promise to God. I just said, look, I should have died at least twice the day before. You spared me for a purpose, for a reason. And I'm going to spend the rest of my days getting my suit dirty, metaphorically, for you. And when I said, the words just rolled off my tongue at the end of that prayer. Lord, when you take me out of this world and into the next, Bury Me in a Dirty Suit. And 24 years later, it's the title of my book.
Oh, that's incredible. Darin, I don't know how you go from that day. I mean, just waking up in the days following, how did you go through life, through I guess in New York City, there was really no such thing as normalcy, I think, for quite a while.
Right. The next 2 or 3 years for me are a blur, 2001 to 2004, because the operational tempo of my job just went through the roof. But the couple of days that followed were very challenging until we were given a new mission. We found out on the 12th that President Bush was coming to New York City, to Ground Zero on September 14th, that Friday. And that gave us some wind in our sails, because now we were, as I like to say in my book, we were getting back in the fight, and we were going to get back on mission.
I can't believe some of the things that you saw. Did you go through PTSD? I mean, you had to have.
In a sense, dreams and visions and smells seem to do it for me. I was less mature in my faith, but that process, by God's grace, kind of made me more mature in my faith. I never wrestled with survivor's guilt per se, as to, okay, why did I have to live, and all these people. That's an answer I can't. That's a question I can't answer. I'm not entitled to that answer, honestly. But I do know that there is a mission still for me here on this earth, for a reason, and I'm going to spend the rest of my days pursuing that, getting after that, and bringing light into darkness.
I would imagine you you lived in New Jersey, you were saying, but I guess as a New Yorker, do you find that New Yorkers sort of have a camaraderie to this day because of what you all went through?
Absolutely. The attitude, the feistiness of New York will never leave. But that day binds that city together. But it binds the entire nation of the United States together. It is that everyone knows exactly where they were and what they were doing. And as I speak in front of large groups, everyone wants to tell me what they were doing and what they experienced. And it's a shared experience that we can honor, we can respect, and we can memorialize. But we can also try to take some good from it and move forward.
Yeah. I remember I was a college student, so I was sitting in class when it happened. But the funny thing is, I had previously been a flight attendant out of New York JFK. So I had lived in New York City. I lived in Valley Stream in Long Island, as they say there. And then just that, so it hit me in a different way than it would hit like a lot of other Canadians, just being that the former flight attendant, the former living in New York, and then I'm a dual citizen with the United States as well, but nothing compared to what the people going through it right there in Ground Zero, like yourself, went through. I can't imagine. I just tip my hat to you.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's after 25 years and 4 months of serving this nation with that mission with the U.S. Secret Service. I like to think that I'm not running away from something. I'm running towards something, and I want to continue to do that. And part of bringing healing to the nation and to people is to share these experiences and let the light in. And I know that's been my personal journey. Ever since I started sharing this experience and sharing this story 12 or 13 years ago, tremendous healing and restoration has taken place.
Darin, thanks so much for being with us today and for sharing your story. Appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Darin Kinder is a former U.S. Secret Service agent. He recently retired after 25 years of service, and his new book about 9/11 is entitled Bury Me in a Dirty Suit.